Okay, so now our next point is study tips. So we've talked about like what you need to know. Now I'm going to talk about like how you do the thing.
You sound like your dad.
My biggest study tip is repetition. Like, I hate learning vocab. I absolutely hate it, but it's been like scientifically proven the best way to like learn anything really with like languages, even with other topics, is spaced repetition.
It's like, I know, you have 7 words and you learn them, and once you finish that 7 it repeats again.
Yeah, and then you review it at a later date.
Yeah.
It's boring, like it's really boring, but it works. Yeah, it works. Like, that's basically how I learned like all of the N3 grammar before I came here was.
Especially if you're outside of the country as well, because you're not going to hear it.
No, so you need to kind of do like a kind of false immersion by this repetition. Like, I was literally writing out example sentences again and again and again, and I found that actually those sentences that I like wrote out so many times, I've used a lot in conversation, even just replacing the vocab for other things, so you get the structure of how a sentence is constructed. But yeah, it is boring, there's no way around it, and I think, you know, you need to manage your expectations with learning a language.
I think you also have to have a good understanding of your learning, the way you learn, the best way for you to learn. I mean, are you a visual person, or do you have to, what's that? It's not telekinetic.
It's like
I want to
kinetic.
Right, kinetic. So some people may work better with writing.
Yeah.
I remember.
So what's your study tip?
I actually do more memorization, repetition type thing, because with second year, the year of hell.
Yeah, the year of hell.
My vocab was only on point because I used to look at my vocab every night. Literally just look at it. So I'm kind of a visual kinetic learner or something weird like that. But it's the repetition that's the key for me. So you need to figure out what works best for you and then progress then.
And things like kanji, I don't know any other way to learn apart from writing it out again and again
and you will forget it, don't worry about it, but
you will forget
it.
My study tip. This isn't just for Japanese, this is for general study. Learn from your mistakes. Over the years have made a lot of mistakes.
Just in life.
You know, and you need to just, what I used to do is be like, oh my god, like this is so sad. I've made so many mistakes, and just not look at my homework or whatever, but you need to look at them and just review them. It's really important to go over like why you did what you did and where you went wrong. So, and just don't be afraid to ask for help either. You know, like, I don't have time. Like, the worst thing is I don't have time to, you know, do my homework or like review something. Like, well, you know, if you're committed to it, you're gonna make your time, aren't you? Like, go to the extra session or ask the teacher for help. I'm sure like they'll be like, oh my god, someone actually wants to be proactive in their learning. So ask for help and go over whatever mistakes you made, because those are the things, there's obviously a reason you made those mistakes, so you need to rectify whatever.
Ooh, I would recommend making use of all the online resources,
there's
especially
so many.
if you're not, you don't have a teacher, a regular teacher. Look online, like Erin's challenge.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really good, especially for set phrases and everyday spoken Japanese. We recommend, even though at the beginning you're gonna be like, slow down, you're too fast. And I watched it like the other day, and I thought, what the hell was I going on about? That was easy. So you can see the progress.
Yeah, the progress we've made in what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
That's another good thing, maybe. Like, look back and try and do some of the stuff you started out 6 months ago, or try a listening exercise. You'll see that you have progressed, because I think you can get lost in it and think, nothing's working. I feel like I'm in the same place I was before.
But you're not, because you progress, and you need to. Also, when you're learning, you need to be like, I have come so
Yeah, you do
far.
need
It
that
gives you
sometimes.
motivation to actually continue.
We all have like really shit days where we feel like, oh, like recently I've been thinking, especially in class, I've been like, I don't know, like Japanese. Like you just kind of realize
so
how much there is in the language.
Because you're in a safe world of academia, and you're like, I know all of the words.
Yeah.
I know all of my 1,000 words.
I know all of Mina no Nihongo.
I know.
I've mastered Japanese.
I am a genius. And then you get here and you're like, motherfucker.
Or you,
I did not know.
you think like, yeah, my Japanese is, you know,
It's
pretty
decent.
decent. It's
Alright.
pretty decent. And then you like come across something and you're like, oh my
What?
god. Like how many onomatopoeia words there are. That's yeah. But
But don't be disheartened.
No, don't be disheartened.
Because I was a beginner from university. I started from nothing, and now I'm here, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and you should all learn Japanese, because languages are really underrated.
And plus, for an English speaker, Japanese is one of like the hardest languages to learn. So if you start with that, you can learn anything. You can do it.
Did you ever have a dream that you did you ever...
I think that's another really important point, is we're English speakers, and I assume a lot of people watching this are probably European or American, so their like native language is European based, which is completely different from Japanese. So the terms of, you know, vocab and structure is completely different.
Yeah, syntax.
Yeah, you have to kind of rewire the way your brain works.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the biggest hurdle, I think.
yeah.
There's a point where like you know as much grammar as you're ever gonna know, and it's more about knowing vocab.
So, you know, don't feel disheartened. Like, it is a really big learning curve, but it's also really, you know,
It's worth it in the
yeah,
end.
it is. It's really gratifying.
I
when
feel
you-
so accomplished.
Yeah.
I fucking learned Japanese.
Yeah.
What did
Yeah.
you do?
What have you done? Like, every time I tell someone like, oh, I'm doing a Japanese degree, they're like,
Oh.
whoa there.
Yeah. I think, kind of, in summary, manage your expectations, but also don't give up. Keep on going.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Because then you can live in Japan and live your dreams.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Sumari. The end.
Sumari, yes. Sumari, learn Japanese.
Because you'd have a greiter time here if
Yeah,
you knew
Yeah.
how to communicate with those people that you idolize.
That's for another video.
Was that shade? I'm sorry.
All tea, all shade.